So, how did Israel, the US, and Hamas actually land on a peace deal? At least the first phase of one? Here's the short version. The US announced that Israel and Hamas agreed to the first step of a Gaza ceasefire plan. That first step focuses on stopping the fighting, pulling Israeli troops back to agreed lines, and releasing captives and prisoners. Reports say Israel's cabinet approved this opening stage, framed as a US-brokered deal, after a long 2-year war in Gaza. The aim is straightforward: end active hostilities and free people on both sides. The plan itself? It's been presented as a structured, multi-point roadmap. Phase 1 centers on a ceasefire and the release of all hostages. There's a timeline attached. Hamas is expected to release remaining hostages within a short window, while Israel scales back its military footprint to specific positions. On the ground, the ceasefire reportedly came into force. Israeli forces began pulling back to those agreed positions. The clock started for releases. Numbers and conditions are being watched closely, because that's what will prove whether this step is working. Publicly, the messaging has been emphatic. The US side announced that both parties signed off on Phase 1. There were posts promising that all captives would be released very soon, and that troop movements would follow as part of the deal. Diplomatically, several countries have signaled support: Qatar, Jordan, the UAE, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Indonesia, Pakistan, calling it a potential turning point. That matters, because regional backing can make or break implementation, especially when it comes to humanitarian access and security guarantees. In Israel, leaders framed this as the beginning of the end of a painful chapter. During a high-profile visit, there were bold declarations that the war is over. Whether that holds depends on compliance, verification, and what comes next in phases 2 and 3: long-term security arrangements, reconstruction and political questions, governance, borders, and guarantees. So, what should you watch for now? Confirmed releases, names, numbers, and timelines. Verified troop repositioning inside Gaza. Sustained humanitarian aid corridors that stay open. A mechanism to resolve violations without snapping back to full-scale war. If those pieces lock in, the ceasefire can move from fragile to durable. If they don't, we're back to crisis management. Bottom line, a signed first phase is historic, but peace isn't a headline, it's a process. The next days will tell us if this deal is a breakthrough or a brief pause. I'll keep it simple: trust updates you can verify, look for independent confirmation, and watch the details, because the details decide whether people get to go home.